6 years ago today, I decided to stop drinking alcohol entirely. And I probably was not the kind of person who you would have suspected had an issue. In fact, my closest friend didn't even know that I had an issue. I did not get drunk regularly, in fact, rarely, but I did drink consistently every single night. I had probably 2 to 4 glasses of wine or whiskey, or maybe a couple of beers if I was going out with my buddies. But I also did get drunk maybe once or twice a year. And not that there's ever a good time to get drunk, but I seem to have gotten drunk in the most inappropriate times and usually embarrassed myself. Fortunately, I didn't hurt anybody. And I got tired of saying and doing stupid shit. So I did have other reasons for stopping, and I'll spare you of those. Actually, I'll spare myself the exposure on those. But I will say the first month was a little bit of a challenge. The big thing I found was I did need to fill the void with other non alcoholic beverages. And I did that. I made sure I always had plenty of other drinks on hand, like seltzer and um, powdered drink mixes, usually like a Gatorade kind of thing, usually sugar free. I would drink more tea. I drank a lot more coffee and did drink a little bit of water too. I probably should have drank more water as I do now. But you do need to fill that void if you're going to stop drinking. Otherwise, you'll probably just reach for your beverage of choice, which I also made sure was not in the house any longer. And fortunately, my wife is not a drinker, so that made it a little bit easier for me. But I can tell you, if she was, I wouldn't, I still wouldn't have reached for it. But I did have two things going for me. And I would say you really only need one of these, and it's the second one. For one, my father was an incredible role model. I was very fortunate. He put the bottle down when I was in first grade, basically to save his marriage to my mother. And they did keep the family intact, which I remain grateful for. And the great thing about my dad was he never, he was surrounded by drunks, both friends and family, but he never put that pressure on anybody else. He never made anybody feel bad for drinking around him. In fact, he was the opposite. He realized it was his issue, not anybody else's, and he didn't want to preach or make anybody feel pressured to behave any differently than they typically would. So I've been fortunate to follow that role model. The second thing is, and this is the bigger thing, is your why. If you have a strong enough reason why you should quit, that's the most powerful thing. And I did. I had a couple of powerful reasons why I should quit. When I hear of people struggling with sobriety, I often wonder, well, maybe their why isn't quite strong enough. And some of you might have an issue with that, and that's fine. But I've met enough people in my situation who have not picked up a drop throughout all of their sobriety, and they've said the same thing or similar things. And then there's also that saying from my father that I used last time was, are you willing to do what's necessary? And that is a question you really do need to ask yourself. So a common thing you'll hear from addicts is, well, I just don't have the willpower. I don't think that's the issue. You might feel that way, but you just don't want the sobriety bad enough. That's what it comes down to. For me, my why was so strong that I just adopted the mantra that booze was just not an option any longer. It wasn't an option for me. It was like, as I told my father-in-law one time, uh, like I could be walking down Rodeo Drive and pass the Gucci store. That's not an option for me. I don't want to spend my money there. I probably don't have the money to spend there. So, yeah, it's have a mantra for yourself. And the crazy thing about my sobriety is the benefits that I had no idea were coming. My head is so much clearer. My thinking is so much straighter. I'm less emotional. That right there, those reasons are enough for me. But there was more. My body feels really clean and healthy, and my doctor office blood work has proven that over the last few years, and I've loved seeing that. I sleep better, I snore less, and I'm not afraid of saying or doing stupid shit anymore. And of course, I'm saving a boatload of money, and that's just awesome. And if you want to quit a bad habit, whatever it might be, or change your lifestyle, just know that you absolutely can. Okay, but you might need to get support. You might need to change who you hang out with, even if that means being alone. And that can be painful, but necessary. And I'm not saying this is easy. I'm not. But you can do it if you want it badly enough.